Hey guys, Thursday night, and I had to do this before I forget because I keep forgetting to do it. Yes, it's another Gypsy Rose. Uh, and the only reason I wanted to make the video is because today there was a video put out, and in the comments, there are several comments where, why are you all talking about her? Or why are you even saying anything? Are we forgetting how her mother treated her and what she did to her? That's the whole reason that everybody is still talking about it because they don't like the fact that Gypsy keeps rewriting the story and actually what happened. Because now that all the evidence has came out, the emails, the phone calls, the FOIAs, everything, she's went ghost. She's gone off grid. Kinda. She's still there behind the scenes under her little fake account, but, um, it has infuriated me that I keep seeing so many of these comments because that's the whole reason we do talk about it is if you actually would go look into the research, the FOIA documents, the phone calls, the emails, and her documentaries alone, where she tells her own lies and spins her lies, you would see that's where everybody is speaking out now. That's why everybody is speaking out. Okay. And last week, I watched a podcast with the Slacker Show, which I didn't even know who they were until 1980 Millennial and Into the Weeds were on it. It just came on my FYP, probably because I follow them. And I went to go grab a clip from Becca's video that she just did yesterday or the day before. And I went to go and I was like, wait, I have followed Becca since her very first video, the very first. So I wasn't subscribed. Fixed it, but that annoys me on here. That happens a lot. And it's not just now, but through the years, I've had to redo it over and over with content creators, and that's annoying. Um, but it's all fixed. Uh, and grab a few clips from there because, that whole narrative that are we forgetting how her mother treated her? Why are you being so hard on her? Why are y'all talking about her? Let her live her life. Mm, mm, that's why we are. And like 1980 Millennial and Into the Weeds, it's personal for them because 1980 Millennial actually knew her and her family, grew up in the same town as Gypsy. Her community is the community that was grifted off of, scammed off of. It affected their community. That does definitely bring a whole different level of wanting the truth out there, right? And then, of course, Into the Weeds, her cousin, is in the same prison that Gypsy was in. She was in there with her. And it kind of sent her down a rabbit hole. And the fact that her cousin got more time in prison for 5 ounces of meth than Gypsy did for taking her mother's life. Make that make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. And on Dr. Phil's, you know, show when she did the interview with Dr. Phil, you know, Bikers Against Child Abuse, they even, spoke up about this that she refused help Dr. Phil offered. And um in her interview with him, there were things that they saw they didn't agree with and that she had no remorse and she's not learned anything and she hadn't, right? So take a look at this clip through Dr. Phil.
No matter what, murder is not okay.
Oh,
But at the same time, I don't believe I deserve as many years as I got.
like I said, many people get more time for a rugs than what she did. And the audacity for her to say that is astounding. It's astounding. And I want to know more than anything why if Bree, um, Gypsy, all of them have this proof that validates Gypsy's story, and this is proof. This is proof, and it proves it. We have the proof, but we just don't deserve to see that proof, they said. Why wouldn't you? You've shown everything else, everything. But again,
why you'll never know, because y'all will never have access to all her medical records, because you don't fucking deserve access. Like, who are you? Like, that's why y'all are speaking on someone without seeing, y'all are invalidating a victim of abuse without seeing all of her medical records. Who fucking does that? Y'all use her medical records as an example.
Medical records we've never seen. I mean,
because y'all don't need to see them, because it's not your.
Well, then it's kind of hard to just,
this is so crazy to me. So crazy. That makes no sense whatsoever. I can hardly understand what she says half the time because she is so overly emotional. She's screaming and yelling, and it sounds like you there's something in her mouth or something that it just isn't getting out. This is my PJs. Yes, granny PJs, y'all. I don't care. But we're just FaceTiming right now. It's like garble because it is. It's garbage. Garbage. If you had that proof, it would be shown, right? Of course, you can't show private medical records online. But like Becca said, she's read over these medical records 10 plus times and it doesn't add up. And in those medical records, Dee Dee doesn't embellish anything. Don't you think if she had that she would embellish? She would list way more wrong with her or try to, and she doesn't. She doesn't lie about any of it. None of it. And that's crazy to me that it is a constant narrative that it was me or her. And Rod now pushing that narrative. And I think Rod's speaking out now, like I said, just because they lost the show. His cash cow is gone. And I believe that Rod and Christy ended up with more money than Gypsy did. I think they took way more money than Gypsy knows about. That's how that family is, from what I hear. It's a tragedy, though, that it all came from Dee Dee's unaliving. How sad is that? You guys are publicly destroying this woman's reputation for money. And because your daughter didn't want to do time. And in the podcast, Into the Weeds made a great point that I never thought of. Gypsy obviously did research, right? She researched serial killers. She researched how to cover up a the smell of death. We'll just say, we'll say that. And it's in the evidence photos where she used fabric sheets and baby powder. And she cleaned up. Here is my big thing that she said in that podcast.
Convenient that she was cleaning up the blood naked after she shaved her whole body?
What? Yeah, that's a choice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was said that one of her initial early cellmates in Greene County, whenever she was taken in Springfield before prison, said, and this isn't always reliable, but they said that Gypsy told them that she didn't stay in the bathroom, that she did go in the bedroom and helped, and that she was going to get away with this.
Why did she shave her entire body? Okay, don't even that. Why did she go clean up the BLOOD naked? She knew. She knew. She knew not to leave evidence, trace evidence. She knew to mail the KNIFE to his house. She didn't want him to wear gloves. She knew what she was doing. And if there is anyone says otherwise, you are full of it. She was trying to set him up, but it didn't work. It didn't work. She couldn't set him up. I don't know what changed or transpired to change that, but I truly believe that she did meet Dan that night because of what he said in the interrogation. I believe that. I do. He would never forget that one guy, Dan. And I do believe something else happened. But why would she clean up all the mess naked? Because she researched it, leaving skin cells and hair, etc. I think she tried to frame him. I don't think Nick was supposed to go back with her. I don't.
Again, I have credibility issues with her.
Her mom literally shaved her head her
He
entire life.
admitted that she's a pathological liar that can lie
she
without
did?
a conscience.
No, actually,
That's her
I'm
own
so glad you
words.
brought that up. Actually, what she said, y'all don't ever like to listen to the whole interview. What she said was not that she was a pathological liar. She said that she said, I can lie without, my mom taught me how to lie without a conscience, but I'm changing. I don't want to be like
Regardless
that.
of the wording,
That's what the, no. That's
herself.
pretty important. That's pretty important because
Bree saying that we overlook everything, the medical records, and twist everything. And that's not what she said. He wasn't meaning where she said, my mom taught me how to lie really good. Yeah, she did. But she also said this.
Has talked to feels they're getting the full story.
This is actually kind of the first time I've been honest. Besides being honest, with my attorneys. Even that, I haven't been completely honest with them. So.
And that never gets old. Never. That never gets old. Because it is what she said. I want to know how you can go through life, just like we just saw in the last video I did of Gypsy, where she was trying to get released early, not paroled. She was doing parole, but the earliest would be 2023. We know she got it. How'd she get it? I don't know how she ended up getting these people to believe her. I don't know, but they did. She gets out and she comes out, and look what she has done. Has contradicted everything she has said in all these interviews, these documentaries, even her book. Now, we've always said that we don't believe the reason that she took Dee Dee out was because of it was my life or her life. And I just snapped, is what she says. She's always said that, though, that it just clicked with her. Now, remember, Gypsy had control of her medical for 6 years before she took Dee Dee's life. The only thing Dee Dee could take control of is if Gypsy had something happen to where she couldn't do it herself, like she was unconscious, she was in a coma, etc. She had no conservatorship over Gypsy, no parental guardianship over Gypsy, nothing. They wouldn't give it to her, right? Gypsy had all that. And this entire 10 years, she said she did it because of the Munchausen by proxy. Until Becca made a point, and I do remember this in the book, and yeah, I questioned, like, I never heard about the surgery. What? And I had already flipped from a supporter to what? But the way Becca says it, it makes sense, She's always said, oh, my mom was too controlling. I just wanted out of that life. She just wanted a free life. Because Into the Weeds let the Slacker Show know. And I want to show this to you guys because a lot of people don't believe that she was out meeting other men besides Dan and Nick. There was like several issues where Gypsy was caught with men, older men. And the community even said on Facebook, on Messenger, there was like a ton of issues with Gypsy messaging older men, and it was in a lustful way, right? She got caught a lot. But listen to what she said here.
She left the home and met, I think when she was 18, it was a 50-year-old local man that she'd been talking to on Facebook. I recognize that 18 is legal, but I feel like any mother would be extremely alarmed at their 18-year-old going to meet a 50-year-old man they'd only chatted with oddly on Facebook. And so that demonstrates she absolutely had the capability to leave. And when she left with Nick, she stole several $1,000s worth of cash out of a safe that Dee Dee had. It obviously would have been very simple to steal that same cash and leave one of the times she left to meet men.
Exactly.
50 years old. Now, just like Becca said, oh, but I was forced to stay in a wheelchair. No, you weren't. We all know that now. You admitted that. You said that in the FOIA documents. That is a court transcript. You said your legs were tingly and that you couldn't walk. And the doctor said you would get, it happens sometimes. It should come back. Well, it did a few days later, you said, but you didn't want to tell your mom because you didn't want to lose her attention and love. I do believe as a child, yes, Gypsy got a ton of attention, not just from mom, but celebrities, the community, these organizations. Rod said it himself. But now that changes. I thought it was just like, Becca said, a horror. It's a horror house. Which is it? Because it can't be both, right? It can't. And it's not.
For humanity, they would have free trips here and there, free flights, getting some money from a couple celebrities. Their life was full of free stuff, I guess, fun stuff.
I truly think that she did it from lust. I do. But now in her memoir, she says it was because her mom was forcing her to have this surgery. Becca again said she's been over the medical records 10 times. There was no surgery planned, and I've never seen that. And there has been things shown. I've never heard of that either. I had never heard that until her book. So again, she rewrites what it is because that whole narrative isn't working after she got off parole when she first went in. Gypsy was well known in her town. She was. Everybody knew them because of being on. Look how many times she was on television. The Habitat for Humanity house, the Special Olympics. And that burns me up that she was in the Special Olympics. I won't say that, Maybe she needed to be in there. Maybe because she did have things wrong with her, but they weren't embellished, not just by Dee Dee, by Gypsy. And that's in the medical records too, that she is faking it in her tests. I'm going to go off track, so I'm going to stop. But, that whole narrative was now this surgery was, I'm not going to be left voiceless. Well, okay, Daddy. Maybe that baby voice should be gone forever. I'm just kidding. That is a joke. Just a joke. But my whole point is if this is true and you had that proof, why wouldn't you show it? Why keep doing this? I know y'all are tired of it. I know. I think it bugs me. I'm like salivating from all my salivary glands. I'm sorry. I'm stopping. I'm stopping. I'm stopping. It just infuriates me to keep seeing in comments and even in my comments. Also, I want to clarify something. I did not think she deserved the support of Baca. When I first heard her story, yeah, I would have been like, yeah, she deserves that. I'm saying if she really went through that, she would have deserved that support from Baca because somebody made a comment. I can't believe you think she actually deserved. I don't. I didn't. I'm saying I believed her before. So, yes, that would have included her But no, not since she's come out of parole. Probably a month, not even a month after parole, I was questioning this girl's story and was infuriated. But seeing all the comments like, defending her and nobody will research it. It's just what Gypsy spews, we should believe. The lies, it's excusable. Rewriting the stories, excusable. Because you're invalidating her ABUSC. Get out of here. We're not invalidating her ABUSC. We're calling out the ABUSC she's done and repeatedly does. And actually, I believe is worse now than it was. I don't know though. Can it get more worse than MURDER? No. But it's getting worse to who knows what could happen, right? Anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Where's the beef? Show us the beef. Show us the proof then. But no, I'm tired of seeing all this shame on you. No, research it. Go do your research. Let me know what you guys think. Good night. If you're wondering why TikTok is always on here, I don't know how to edit any other way. I go on here because you can use CapCut and do the videos, and my other software messes up. So I've been doing TikTok for so long that I know how to edit here. So I just edit here, save it, and then create through the Google Create Studio. And then I upload it to YouTube. I don't know how else to do it. So that's just a side note.